So we got some news about property taxes that could be going up in the city of Toronto, or at the very least, there could be other taxes added upon property taxes and land transfer taxes and all the taxes that homeowners pay in the city of Toronto, which is going to make real estate a lot more expensive in the GTA. It's just going to be unaffordable. It's already unaffordable as it is. A very few minority of people actually own property in Toronto. I consider the situation of property ownership in the city of Toronto similar to the property ownership in South Africa. In fact, I would consider it to be even worse than what's going on in South Africa. Only a few minority of people, usually foreigners, have property, or people who've had property for a long time and refuse to move, or just very rich people altogether own property in Toronto. And a lot of people, mostly young individuals like myself, who have done everything that the boomers told us to do: go to school, get education, go to college, get all this debt, make sure you become something. We have done all of that and more. We have the scars to prove it. And what do we have to show for it? Many of us are renters. Many of us are living in other people's houses, paying their mortgages. And meanwhile, property taxes are going up, taxes are going up, the prices of homes are going up, and it doesn't look like as if we are going to be able to own property anytime soon. It's going to take a long, hard road before people of my generation especially are able to own homes or property in the city of Toronto or the surrounding area. And that's because prices are going up, yes, but that's also because the taxes are going up. I mean, the land transfer tax is very, very expensive. And of course, we have property taxes. Now, I've always said property taxes are absolute rubbish. They are rubbish. Not because I think it's illegal or anything like that. I'm not of the opinion that taxes are necessarily illegal. I do think that the income tax in Canada is double crossing because we were promised that it was going to be temporary. But I'm not here to say taxes are illegal. I'm not for that foolishness, because people who say that one day will end up driving on the public roads the next day and going to the public hospital and bitching and complaining that cuts are being made. So I don't talk that rubbish. But I do think property taxes are rubbish because what it does is that the select minority of people who own property are paying the taxes, and many, many people who don't own any property in the city of Toronto or in municipalities as a whole, they're not paying anything. And usually they're the ones who are getting the most out of municipal government and all these other governments. They're the ones that go to the library when they want to, but they don't have any computers and they want to go to the library and get resumes and their CV in order. They're the ones that go to the adult schools if they didn't pass school on time and all this sort of stuff. They're the ones who do these sort of things. So my suggestion, and now what we're hearing is that the Toronto City Council is actually planning on hiking property taxes or adding new taxes because of the cuts that they face by Premier Doug Ford and the Ontario government. I think both entities are being stupid here. I do believe that many of the cuts, I'll put it this way. Some of the cuts I do support. I do support cutting the Toronto City Council. Many of those people, they are overpaid. They're useless. They're complete useless individuals, and they're no good individuals. They should be on the street shining shoes. They should be doing something, flipping burgers at McDonald's, anything. They are useless, and they get too many perks on top of that. And they don't like people that don't agree with them. And they're all just in one big bubble, just yes men to each other, scratching each other's back. So I'm glad with that. Many of these cuts that Doug Ford have done, I have spoken out against. I've said they're absolute rubbish. They're stupid. They're foolish. They're idiotic. I don't care who agrees with me or not. You go to hell. But the reaction to these cuts is equally stupid, because what you're doing is you're not fixing anything. You're just having the minority of people who own property. Their lives are going to be more expensive, and the people who rent, because a lot of these individuals, a lot of these foreign guys who come here and they want their mortgages paid off, they'll get some poor sap out who has college debt or something like that. Not saying that about my landlords personally. I love my landlords. They're very good to me. I got a very good deal on the property that I have right now, a very, very good deal. They're very fair. They're very nice. They allow me to, if I need to, if there's a problem or anything, they'll allow me to, like, an extension and stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking in general. You'll get these guys who will shoot the price of rent so high, and it's not even anything decent anyway. You get some shared bathroom. You're sharing the bathroom with some individual you don't know. I refuse to rent if I have to share a bathroom. I will never share a bathroom with anybody. I will not put my bottom on the same toilet seat as some stranger. I will never do that. I will not do that. I don't even use public toilets. I don't do it. If I have to shit myself, then so be it. Or piss in some, well, there's urinals. But I won't use public. I will never put my naked backside on a toilet seat as some stranger. Nobody uses my toilet unless I know them. And you have to be either related to me by blood, or I have to be dating you, or you have to be a good friend of mine. No strange person comes into my bathroom. You're not doing it. You are not sitting on my toilet. I don't even care if you're a fan, you happen to know where you're not sitting on my toilet unless I know you very well. You're not doing it. I won't do it. And on top of that, you're sharing a bathroom, and it's like, what, $800, $900? F off, okay? And now the rent is going to be even more expensive. So here's my proposal. I think property taxes should be abolished. I think they should be 100% abolished. And in their place, they need to have city sales taxes. I have always been a fan of sales taxes. I've not been a fan of income taxes. I'm not a fan of property taxes. I'm not a fan of capital gains taxes. But there are two taxes that I'm very much a fan of, and I think they work very well. Sales taxes, and I'm also a fan of tariffs. Because many of the trade deals that our government officials impose on us are trade deals that are not fair. I mean, look at Canada. We have free healthcare. We demand that that these bosses and employers treat their workers well and all this sort of stuff. And meanwhile, you're in America. There's no free health insurance. The workers, they get, what, $7-something an hour and all this sort of stuff. It's cheaper there. So we don't have a fair trade deal with America. And now this new one is even worse for Canada. USMCA, it's better for America. And Mexico is even worse. I mean, the workers there, they're pretty much slaves. So it's worse. So unless we have a very, very good trade deal, which I'm very picky when it comes to trade deals. I'm the pickiest person ever. When it comes to my country, I'm not like some of you tackhead Canucks out there who are willing to sell out this country for a quick buck. Some of you stinking anti-supply management Canucks out there. Yeah, you stinking, dirty, stinking. I ain't like you. And I don't want to be like you. You want to sell out this country. A lot of Canadians are sellouts anyway. On the left and the right. They're willing to sell. When it comes to me and my country, I am very picky when it comes to trade deals. I drive a hard bargain. And I could care less. I'd sooner protect our beautiful manufacturing, our beautiful farmers and everything. So tariffs and sales taxes, I'm a fan of. I think the municipal government should have sales taxes. Get rid of property taxes altogether. And all other property, land transfer tax. The Toronto has a land transfer tax. All those things, get rid of them all. Every single one of them. It would make rent cheaper. It would make getting a house cheaper. And it would make the property ownership a lot more democratic. Right now, it's very feudalistic. Only people really who can easily get property in the city of Toronto are rich foreigners or rich Canadians or people who've had property when the market was democratic in the past. And they've lived there for years and years, the same street, the same avenues. Some old person, decrepit, can't get down the steps. But Granny, Grampy, they're refusing to leave because they know if they leave, they'll never get another house again. So they're going to struggle down the step walking. Oh, my hip, go down the stairs with his cane and the bathroom. He's always falling down in the bathroom. Every 2 seconds he's on the bathroom. He's got his help, I've fallen, I can't get up. He's going to struggle in that house forever. You'll find him dead up in his bedroom because he's not going to leave because he knows that would be the biggest mistake of his life. So those are the only kind of people who really own property within the city of Toronto. Other than that, it's very, very difficult, especially for young folk. So I say get rid of property taxes. I am deadly against hiking property taxes, adding new taxes for the city of Toronto. I'm against it. I think people should fight it. And I think people should protest it. They should picket John Tory. They should picket Doug Ford for allowing John Tory to do this. They should picket them all. Picket them. Picket the councillors. Picket every single one of them on City Hall. This is something the Yellow Vests should be picketing. I mean, I don't know what's happened I hope that the Canadian Yellow Vests have not been infiltrated by Zionists. I really hope not. The European ones have not. They are solid. Way solid. These ones here, I don't know if they're just trying to act like the Tea Party in the United States, neocons and a bunch of, I don't know if they've been corrupted or not. Usually the only thing they want to talk about is Muslims, and I have no time for foolishness like that. This is serious business. If you're not going to be serious, then don't even bother. The only time you ever go, they only want to talk about Muslims. That has nothing to do with, and no, you're not, that's stupid for me. So, that's something the Yellow Vests should protest, the hiking of property taxes here, which is going to make the property industry in Toronto much more undemocratic. Now, you can choose to listen to me and take this seriously, or you can choose to go back in your own little world and just dink off and don't do BS. The right is going to talk about Muslims and then the Arab and that thing. You dumbass, or the left-wingers are going to talk about LGBT this and how many genders there are and this and that. The world is going stupid. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of all of y'all. On the left and the right. You all are not focused. You all are acting dumb. Both of you. The left wing going on about LGBT this, gay this, gay. I have nothing against that either, but it's not at the top of my priority. Neither is talking about Muslims all day and night and how bad and scary they are. That's not on my agenda either. So all of y'all can go screw yourselves. So if you're not going to take this seriously, don't subscribe. F off. Because I'm sick of it now. I'm sick of it. So that's what I have to say. And it affects me. Because now rent is going to go up for everybody. The price of living is going to go. The carbon tax, look at that. The bus fare and the TTC has gone up more now. So that's going to be even more trouble for people. And this is a majority bill because you can't even get cars in Ontario either. They're so expensive. The car insurance is expensive. Life is getting expensive. We need to take a stand. Do something about this. Stop sitting on your ass and talking about crap that doesn't mean anything to anyone. Focus, you Canucks. This is the Orana Nation.